The cold morning air cut through the quiet streets as Liam wheeled Zara down the cracked sidewalks. Mist hovered low over the city, and the distant hum of hovercars echoed like a soft drumbeat. Zara sat in her small wheelchair, her delicate wings hidden beneath a dark cloak. Her scales caught the faint light, shimmering slightly like metal, but she didn't move them. Liam didn't notice, they looked like faint decorations to him. "Race you to the corner?" Liam said, his grin wide. Zara shook her head, a small smile tugging at her lips. "You'd win anyway. You're faster than me even with my chair." He laughed, pushing her faster anyway, careful not to tip her over. The streets were empty except for a few early merchants opening their stalls. Liam always walked Zara to school. It had become their routine and neither of them questioned why. He didn't ask about her home and she didn't offer. "Why don't you let anyone help you at home?" Liam asked suddenly, his tone light but curious. Zara shrugged, her eyes flicking toward the tall towers in the distance, where the city council buildings rose like frozen flames. "I'm fine," she said quietly. Liam didn't push it. He knew some secrets were better left unspoken. Instead, he hummed a tune and focused on keeping their paths smooth. He liked helping her. It made him feel important somehow. The closer they got to school, the louder the city became. Hovercars zipped past on elevated roads, and workers shouted to each other across the streets. Zara watched quietly, her face calm, but her eyes betrayed a hint of worry. Not about school. Not about homework. Something else. Liam didn't know what. "You okay?" he asked. Zara nodded, adjusting her cloak. "Yes. Just thinking." Liam glanced at her, noticing the subtle tension in her jaw. He wanted to ask more, but something in her expression told him to stop. Instead, he turned to make a joke. "If anyone teases you today, I'll chase them down. Promise?" Zara chuckled softly. "Thanks, Liam." As they neared the school gates, a shadow moved across the top of a nearby building. Zara's eyes flicked to it for a brief moment, her smile fading. Liam noticed the change, but when he looked, there was nothing there. A faint chill ran down his spine. He didn't tell Zara. Inside the school, the halls were noisy, filled with students laughing and shouting. Liam pushed Zara to her classroom, weaving through the crowd with ease. Some kids stared at Zara, whispering behind their hands. Her small frame and strange wings made her different, and some students couldn't hide their curiosity. Liam ignored them, keeping Zara steady. Once they reached her desk, Liam helped her settle in. "See you at lunch?" he asked. Zara nodded, tucking a strand of dark hair behind her ear. "See you then." Liam left with a grin, waving back at her. Zara watched him go, her expression softening. Then she looked out the window at the sky beyond the city. Far above, massive starships floated silently, and among them, the glint of dragon-shaped vessels reminded her of home. Her home was not ordinary. Her mother, Empress Valira, ruled an empire across stars, and Zara was the heir. But here, in this quiet, ordinary school, she could be normal. She liked that. The bell rang and Zara turned to face her classmates. She kept her voice calm, friendly but careful. She answered questions, smiled when asked, and moved with as much ease as her disability allowed. She had learned to hide the truth about herself. Only Liam had a small glimpse of the real her, and he didn't even know it yet. In the city above, Empress Valira observed the streets from the high tower of her palace. Her golden eyes scanned every corner, but her attention lingered on a single small figure moving through the streets. Her daughter. She had instructed her agents to ensure Zara was safe, yet she allowed her this ordinary morning. It was important that Zara felt human even if it was just for a few hours. The Empress's mind flickered to the spies, the threats, the enemies who would use knowledge of her daughter against the Empire. But for now, her daughter laughed and talked with a human boy, unaware of the weight she carried. Back in the classroom, Zara's gaze flickered toward the window again, catching a glimpse of Liam outside. He waved at her. She smiled, and for a brief moment the worries of an empire slipped away. The day began like any other. But as Liam and Zara moved through their ordinary school life, the city buzzed with secrets and threats that neither could fully see. A small human boy with a kind heart, a dragon girl hiding her true identity, and a world where ordinary moments were precious, but fragile. The morning was quiet, but the calm could not last forever. And somewhere high above, the shadow of danger waited, waiting for the right moment to strike. The classroom buzzed with chatter as Zara wheeled herself to her desk, carefully avoiding the scattered books and chairs. Liam had already slipped in earlier and waved at her from the back of the room. She smiled softly, feeling a little lighter with him around. School was hard for her in ways no one could see. Her body was weak, her movements slow, but Liam's presence made the days easier. "Hey, you're late," Liam whispered with a grin as she settled. "I'm not late," Zara replied, rolling her eyes but smiling. "Just fashionably on time." Liam laughed quietly, glancing around the classroom. Some kids stared at her, whispering under their breath. Zara had learned long ago how to ignore them. She had to. Showing weakness could draw attention, and attention was dangerous in ways most of her classmates couldn't imagine. As the teacher began the lesson, Zara focused on her studies. She was exceptionally smart, far beyond her peers, though she often hid it to avoid standing out too much. Liam noticed this and occasionally nudged her, giving small hints of encouragement. "You're going to ace that," he whispered during a math problem. Zara smiled at him, grateful. During lunch, the students filled the cafeteria with noisy chatter and clattering trays. Liam carefully guided Zara to an empty table, keeping her away from the gossiping groups. Some kids stared at them, curious or judgmental, but Liam ignored them all. "You're amazing, you know that?" Liam said, passing her a sandwich he had made himself. Zara looked down at the food and shook her head. "I'm just lucky sometimes." "No," Liam said firmly. "You're smart and brave. You hide it, but I see it." Zara felt a warmth in her chest. Humans were strange creatures. They could be so ordinary yet so brave and loyal. She had watched countless dragons and soldiers across the Empire, and none had the simple courage to defend another like this human boy did. Their conversation was interrupted when a group of students approached, curious and a little sneering. "Why are you always with him?" one of the girls asked, pointing at Liam. Zara stayed calm, hiding the slight tension that ran through her. "Because he's my friend," she said simply. The girl snickered. "A human? Really? That's kind of weird." Liam didn't back down. "Yeah, weird can be good," he said, standing slightly in front of Zara. "Better than being a bully, that's for sure." The group hesitated, unsure how to respond, and then wandered off. Zara's heart raced, but she couldn't help smiling. Liam had no idea how dangerous it could have been if the wrong people noticed her. After lunch, the science teacher led the class to the lab for an experiment. Zara's movements were slow but precise. Liam watched as she carefully mixed chemicals, her scales catching the light, a shimmer of gold and silver. Even in small gestures there was elegance and control. "You're really good at this," Liam whispered. Zara shrugged. "I have to be careful. Mistakes can be messy." He nodded, understanding more than he let on. They worked quietly side by side, a human and a dragon girl, blending ordinary life with extraordinary potential. During a break, Zara felt a twinge of longing as she glanced out the window. The city skyline stretched beyond the horizon, and far above, spaceships glinted against the sunlight. She remembered her mother, Empress Valira, overseeing the empire with cold precision. Zara's life at school was a fragile bubble, a temporary escape from responsibilities she wasn't ready for. She wanted to stay ordinary, at least for now. Liam noticed her gaze and followed it. "You thinking about something?" he asked. Zara hesitated, then shook her head. "Nothing important." He didn't press further. Liam had learned that some things were not for asking. Instead, he took her hand for a moment, a small gesture of comfort. Zara felt a sense of normalcy, a rare gift. Back at home, Zara's mother watched from the palace tower on a distant planet. Empress Valira's agents had transmitted the school's cameras to her. She observed her daughter laughing softly at something Liam had said. Valira allowed it. She wanted Zara to feel normal, but she also knew that the Empire's enemies were always looking for weaknesses. Every smile, every innocent moment was a risk, but it was worth it. As the day ended, Liam pushed Zara back through the city streets. The sun dipped lower, casting long shadows over the buildings. Zara relaxed slightly in her chair, enjoying the simplicity of the walk. "You make every day easier," she said quietly. Liam shrugged. "You make every day interesting too." "I like pushing you literally and figuratively," he teased. Zara laughed softly, a sound as light as wind over the rooftops. She felt safe with him, though she knew that safety was fragile. The world outside their small bubble was complicated, filled with danger and intrigue she could never fully explain. But for now they had each other, and that was enough. At the end of the walk, Liam stopped and let her take a small break. She leaned back, looking up at the sky, where distant starships and faint glimmers of dragon-shaped figures reminded her of a life far beyond school. She sighed, a mixture of longing and contentment. Liam didn't know the weight she carried, but he felt it somehow. And Zara, for the first time that day, allowed herself to hope that maybe, just maybe, a human boy could make a difference in her complicated world. The city hummed around them, ordinary and yet full of hidden dangers. But in that small moment, two friends shared laughter and trust, building a bond that could withstand even the secrets of empires. The day started quietly, with Liam wheeling Zara down the familiar streets. The sun glinted off the glass towers, but today something felt different. The air was heavier, and even the distant hum of hover cars seemed sharper, almost tense. Zara felt it first. A flicker of unease ran through her, and she tightened her cloak around her shoulders. "Are you okay?" Liam asked, noticing her hesitation. Zara forced a smile. "I'm fine. Just thinking." They reached the school, but before Liam could open the gate, a sudden alarm rang through the city. Red lights flashed across the streets and distant sirens blared. People ran in every direction, shouting, their faces full of fear. Liam's heart raced, but he kept his focus on Zara. "Stay close," he said, his voice firm. Zara's sharp eyes caught something in the sky. Alien ships, sleek and dark, hovered above the city, their weapons glowing ominously. Panic spread like wildfire. Zara's instincts screamed at her to hide her wings, to protect herself, but there was no time. Liam's calm determination surprised her. He looked around, analyzing the situation like a seasoned soldier. "Which way?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Follow me." "I know a shortcut," Liam said, gripping the handles of her wheelchair tightly. They dashed through back alleys, weaving around panicked students and overturned carts. Zara's heart pounded as she realized the attack was real, not a drill. Explosions shook nearby buildings, sending dust and debris into the air. Liam kept pushing, his face set with focus, ignoring the chaos around them. Suddenly, a section of the street collapsed from a distant blast. Liam swerved sharply, narrowly avoiding falling rubble. Zara clutched the sides of her chair, terrified, but she trusted him. In that moment, she realized humans could be brave in ways dragons rarely expected. They acted without hesitation, without the calculated caution that dragons often used. "We're almost there," Liam shouted, spotting a hidden side entrance to the school's underground tunnels. Zara felt a wave of relief but also fear. The tunnels were dark and narrow, and she didn't know what waited inside. As they entered, a shadow detached from the wall ahead. A group of hostile drones, alien in design, blocked their path. Zara froze, unsure what to do. Liam didn't hesitate. He pushed forward, dodging their attacks, and used his knowledge of the tunnel layout to find gaps in the drone's movements. Zara's eyes widened. He was ordinary, yet his mind worked like a weapon. Her respect for him deepened. "We need to keep moving," she said, finally finding her voice. Liam nodded, and together they navigated the maze of tunnels. Sparks flew from damaged lights, and the sound of distant explosions echoed like thunder. Zara caught glimpses of her own abilities stirring within her, small flashes of energy in her hands, but she forced herself to remain calm. Liam didn't need to see her powers, not yet. As they reached a temporary safe zone, Zara's communicator buzzed. A holographic image of her mother appeared, calm but commanding. "Zara, the Empire has detected the intruders. They are testing the city," Empress Valira said. "Do not engage. Your safety is my priority." Zara's chest tightened. "But the people?" "Leave them to us," her mother interrupted. "Focus on surviving and returning home. Trust Liam. He is more capable than you realize." The line went dark, and Zara stared at Liam, unsure what her mother meant. She didn't tell him about the message, fearing it would frighten him. But a new thought formed in her mind: humans might be more than ordinary. Liam's courage, his quick thinking, it wasn't natural. Suddenly, movement at the tunnel entrance caught Zara's attention. Spies, disguised as refugees, had slipped through unnoticed. They were looking for her, for any clue about her family. Liam noticed them too and blocked their path without hesitation. "You stay behind me," Liam said, determination burning in his eyes. Zara felt a rush of gratitude. This human boy, ordinary and small, was willing to face danger to protect her. She could feel the faint energy of her dragon powers humming inside her, waiting for the moment to act. But she held back, letting Liam lead. The spies hesitated, unsure how to respond to his fearless stance. Liam's bravery gave Zara an idea. Using small distractions, she guided the drones away without revealing herself. The team split their attention, and together they escaped the trap. Outside the tunnel, the city was chaos. Fires burned in the distance, and the alien ships continued their patrol. Zara looked at Liam, amazed. He had led them through danger with nothing but wit, courage, and determination. You were incredible," she said quietly. Liam shrugged, brushing soot from his sleeve. "I just did what I had to do." You would have done the same for me. Zara's gaze softened. She realized that humans, though fragile, had something dragons often lacked. A courage that didn't need power or wings, a bravery that came from heart. Liam didn't know the truth about her heritage, but she knew now that he could face the dangers that followed her. Above the city, Empress Valira observed the retreat of the alien scouts. Her eyes narrowed as she analyzed Liam's actions. This human boy could be important. Not just for her daughter but perhaps for the Empire itself. His courage, his loyalty, rare qualities in any species, made him valuable. Zara looked at Liam again. He didn't need to know her powers or her mother's empire to be remarkable. And she, for the first time, felt that perhaps humans could be trusted, even in a world ruled by dragons. The sun dipped low, casting the city in shadows. Danger still loomed, but for now Zara and Liam had survived. Their bond had grown stronger, forged in chaos and courage, and Zara realized that ordinary humans could do extraordinary things. And somewhere in the distance, new threats stirred, watching, waiting for the perfect moment. But with Liam at her side, Zara felt a little more ready to face whatever came next. The city was quiet now, but the tension hung thick in the air. Smoke drifted from distant fires, and the sound of emergency sirens faded into uneasy silence. Liam and Zara had found temporary refuge in an abandoned building on the edge of the city. The walls were cracked, the windows shattered, but it offered a place to think and catch their breath. Zara sat in her wheelchair, her hands trembling slightly. The adrenaline from the day's chaos still pulsed through her. Liam knelt beside her, checking the wheels and straps, making sure everything was secure. "You okay?" he asked quietly. I think so," she said, still catching her breath. "I'm just tired of hiding." Liam's eyes softened. "You don't have to hide from me," he said. "I can help." Zara looked at him, realizing that he didn't know the full truth, her mother's empire, her dragon abilities, but he trusted her anyway. That trust was rare, even among dragons. Suddenly, a low rumble shook the building. Zara's ears pricked up. Outside, alien drones patrolled the streets, scanning for survivors. They were sleek, metallic, and deadly, with glowing red eyes that tracked movement with unnerving precision. Zara's instincts flared, and a small surge of energy sparked at her fingertips. "Stay calm," Liam said, noticing the change. "We need a plan." Zara hesitated. Could she reveal even a small part of her power? If she used too much, it might draw attention to her. But if she didn't, they might not survive. She nodded slowly and focused her energy. A faint glow emanated from her hands, enough to create small illusions, masking their presence from the drones. Liam's eyes widened. "That's incredible." Zara smiled faintly, but she didn't waste time. Together they navigated the broken streets. Liam led the way, spotting debris and using his quick thinking to avoid danger. He directed Zara where to place her illusions, confusing the drones and giving them openings to move faster. It was the perfect combination, human ingenuity and dragon power. They reached a small alley where the drones were trapped in a loop of Zara's illusions. Liam used a makeshift lever to tip over a dumpster, creating a barricade. Sparks flew, metal clanged, but it bought them precious seconds. Zara felt a thrill she rarely allowed herself. A human boy, using nothing but his mind and courage, could fight alongside her and survive. "Nice work," she whispered, a hint of pride in her voice. "You too," Liam said, glancing at the faint glow around her hands. "I didn't know dragons could do that." Zara laughed softly. "Not all dragons are the same. And not all humans are ordinary either." The alley led them to a wider street, but they weren't safe yet. More drones appeared ahead, blocking their path. Liam scanned the area quickly. There was a construction site nearby, half-finished scaffolding and crates stacked everywhere. He pointed. "We can use that to our advantage. Follow my lead." Zara nodded, trusting him completely. Liam ran ahead, weaving through obstacles, pushing Zara carefully behind him. He climbed onto a crate and used it as a launch point, knocking over another stack to create noise and distraction. The drones turned, giving Zara room to release small bursts of energy to mislead them further. Together they moved in perfect sync. Liam's creativity and bravery complemented Zara's power. Neither was alone, yet both contributed equally to their survival. Zara realized that this was the first time she had felt this kind of partnership with a human, and it was exhilarating. As they reached the outskirts of the city, a familiar voice crackled from Zara's communicator. It was her mother, Empress Valira. "Zara, I see your efforts. Continue, but be cautious. Liam is valuable. Trust him." Zara's chest tightened. Her mother's approval was rare, even in holographic form. She felt proud but also nervous. Liam had no idea of the weight he carried by simply helping her. "Liam," Zara said quietly, "my mother, she's the leader of an empire. I didn't tell you because it's dangerous." Liam blinked, processing the information. "Wait, you're royalty? You mean, like a dragon queen or something?" Zara nodded. "Yes. But right now you and I need to survive. That's more important." He grinned, brushing dust from his sleeve. "Well, royalty or not, I've got your back." They moved through the last stretch of ruined streets and for a moment the world seemed still. The drones had been delayed, the city in chaos, but they had survived another challenge. Zara's glow faded, leaving only the faint shimmer of her scales in the sunlight. Liam's eyes were wide with admiration, not fear. "You're amazing," he said simply. "And you're extraordinary," Zara replied, smiling. She realized that human courage could match dragon strength in ways she hadn't imagined. Liam had no powers, no wings, yet he had fought beside her, outsmarting deadly enemies with nothing but his mind and heart. Above the city, Empress Valira observed through the Empire's sensors. Her sharp eyes studied Liam carefully. He was ordinary in form, but his actions had revealed an inner strength that could be useful. Perhaps humans were more than she had thought, capable of surprising feats when tested. Zara looked at Liam as they reached a small safe zone. She felt something she rarely allowed herself to feel: hope. For the first time she believed that humans and dragons could work together, that ordinary people could make a difference in extraordinary times. The sun dipped low behind the city towers, casting long shadows, but Zara felt lighter. She had survived danger, revealed a fraction of her power, and discovered the bravery of a human boy who had nothing but courage to guide him. Liam looked at her, his eyes steady. "Whatever comes next, we face it together." Zara nodded, feeling a rare certainty. Together, they had proven that human ingenuity and dragon power could be unstoppable when combined. The world was dangerous, but for the first time she felt ready to face it, not alone but with a true ally. And somewhere in the distance, new threats stirred, but this time, Zara and Liam were prepared. The city was quiet now, the chaos of the alien attack fading into distant echoes. Smoke lingered over broken streets, and the sky glowed faintly orange from the setting sun. Liam wheeled Zara through the ruins, careful of loose rubble and uneven pavement. For the first time that day they moved without fear, but the tension in the air reminded them that danger was never far away. "You did amazing today," Zara said quietly, watching him push her with steady hands. I didn't know humans could be this brave." Liam laughed softly. "We're not all brave, just stubborn enough to do the right thing when it matters." Zara smiled. Then she hesitated, gathering courage. Today had changed things, she had revealed part of her power, and Liam had proven he could handle it. It was time he knew the truth about her. "Liam," she began, her voice trembling slightly, "there's something I need to tell you. Something important." He glanced at her, curious and serious. "What is it?" Zara took a deep breath. "My mother, she's not just anyone. She's Empress Valira. She rules an empire across the stars. And I am her daughter. That's why I can't always be like other kids. That's why I hide my wings, my abilities, everything." Liam's eyes widened. "Wait, you're royalty? Like a dragon queen in training?" Zara nodded. "Yes, but you don't have to be afraid. I wanted you to know, but not until I trusted you. You've proven that humans are more than I expected. You're brave, smart, and loyal. I needed to see that before I revealed everything." For a moment, Liam was silent, trying to process it all. Then he smiled. "Zara, that's incredible. And you're still the same person I know. You're my friend. Nothing changes that." Zara felt a warmth in her chest. Trust was rare, even among dragons. For Liam to accept her like this, without fear or doubt, was a gift she hadn't expected. They reached a small safe zone, a quiet street away from the city center. The buildings here were less damaged, and the shadows of dusk offered a brief comfort. Zara looked up at the sky, where distant starships glinted faintly, reminders of the empire she belonged to. She had lived in the shadow of those ships, yet here with Liam she felt ordinary in the best way. "I should have told you sooner," she admitted. "But I was scared. Scared that knowing the truth would change how you saw me." Liam shook his head. "No. It doesn't change anything. If anything, it makes me respect you more. You've survived so much and you've done it with courage. I'm lucky to be your friend." Zara smiled, a genuine smile this time, free from worry. She realized that humans had something dragons often lacked: heart. Liam's courage, his willingness to protect her without powers or wings, showed strength in a different way, ordinary yet extraordinary. "Liam," she said quietly, "you've taught me something today. Even when the world is dangerous, even when enemies are near, humans can surprise dragons. You've shown me that bravery doesn't need scales or fire. It comes from here." She tapped her chest lightly. "From here." Liam grinned. "Well, maybe dragons can teach humans a few things too. Like how to survive a real attack without panicking." Zara laughed softly. "Yes, perhaps. But today you saved me more than I can explain. And I hope one day you'll see just how extraordinary you are too." As night fell, a faint shimmer appeared on Zara's cloak, her wings stirring slightly. She didn't fully reveal them, but Liam noticed the glow and he didn't flinch. Instead, he gave a small nod as if saying, "I trust you." Above the city, Empress Valira observed through the Empire's sensors. Her golden eyes studied Liam carefully. He had no powers, no dragon blood, yet he had proven himself capable, resourceful, and loyal. Valira's sharp mind calculated possibilities. Humans like him could be allies, perhaps even bridges between worlds. She allowed herself a rare, approving smile. Her daughter had chosen well. Back on the street, Liam and Zara paused, taking in the calm after the storm. The city was battered, but life was returning. Streetlights flickered on, casting soft glows over debris and cracked pavement. They didn't speak for a moment, simply feeling the quiet. "You know," Liam said finally, "I think we make a pretty good team." Zara nodded. "Yes. Human ingenuity and dragon power. Together we can face almost anything." They started moving again, slowly, side by side. Zara felt a sense of relief she hadn't known she could feel. For the first time, she believed that she didn't have to face the world alone, that humans could be trusted, and that courage came in many forms. "Liam," she said softly, "thank you. For everything." He smiled, pushing her forward. "No need to thank me. We're friends, and friends stick together." As they reached the edge of the safe zone, Zara glanced at the distant horizon. The stars glimmered faintly and she knew the Empire waited for her. But now she also knew that no matter how powerful her mother was or how dangerous the galaxy could be, she had something precious on Earth. A human friend who could face danger with her without fear. And Liam, though unaware of the Empire's full reach, understood that their bond was stronger than any secret, stronger than any danger. In that quiet night, two worlds, human and dragon, found trust, respect, and hope. The city was still, but the future was wide and open. For Zara and Liam, the adventure was far from over. Yet now, whatever came next, they would face it together, ready for anything with courage, friendship, and understanding. And somewhere high above, the stars waited, bright and endless, reflecting the bond between a human boy and a dragon girl, a bond that could change the fate of two worlds.